Ahead on the CFL Report, Grey Cup Week 87, the CFL's 75th edition. The best in the league, Shenley's outstanding players. And the Sunday game, the Eskimos and the Argonauts. The pregame preview. TSN CFL Report. It's our game around here, brought to you by Carling O'Keefe Brewery. Welcome to beautiful British Columbia. It may be wintertime back east, but in Vancouver, it's typical November weather. And we have a guarantee of Sunday afternoon's 75th renewal of the Grey Cup under the dome being played in perfect weather conditions. Hi, everyone. I'm John Wells, along with Leif Pedersen. Welcome to the CFL Report. As we told you last week, it would be the BC Lions and the Winnipeg Blue Bombers meeting here 48 hours from now to settle the Grey Cup score. Leif, you said it. Yeah, you know what, John? I went with the bookmakers, and they really burnt me. Give Toronto and Edmonton credit. They really played tremendously well. They deserve to be in the Grey Cup. But, you know, I've got to come up for the pick on Sunday, and I think it's really going to be difficult. I'm kind of confused about the whole issue, who I'm going to pick. The teams are so close. I just need a little time. I'm going to wander around. I'll catch you later in the show, but I'll have a winner for you. By the end of the show? I hope so. All right. Leif Pedersen will be back with a winner later in the show. But right now, we can tell you about winners Thursday night at the Shenley Awards. Toronto's Gil Finnerty beat out Edmonton's Stanley Blair as the CFL's most outstanding rookie. The freshman tailback had a super season for the Argos, rushing for 879 yards and leading the CFL with 15 touchdowns. In the outstanding lineman category, it was Winnipeg tackle Chris Walby getting the nod over Calgary center Bob Poley. The 6'7", 290-pounder anchored the offensive line in Winnipeg that allowed the fewest sacks in 1987 and led the way for the league's most potent passing attack. The most outstanding defensive player went to BC's Greg Stuman. In his first full year in the CFL, Stuman recorded a league-leading 23 sacks while filling in for the 1986 defensive winner, James Quick Parker. A pair of safeties in the running for outstanding Canadian. Winnipeg's Scott Flegel edged out BC's Nelson Martin. Flegel had an outstanding year, registering 41 tackles, 5 interceptions, 3 fumble recoveries, and 2 blocked kicks. Finally, the most outstanding player, Winnipeg's Tom Clements, up against Edmonton's Brian Kelly.
And the winner is Tom Clements.
When you receive an individual award in a team-oriented sport, you basically have to rely a lot on your teammates, and that's certainly been the case this year with me. I know I've had my better years when I've played on good teams, and that's what's happened here in Winnipeg. The one individual I'd like to recognize is my wife, Kathy. She's helped me tremendously throughout my career. Thank you very much.
No doubt Tom Clements would gladly trade the Shenley Award for the chance at the big prize that Brian Kelly gets on Sunday afternoon. Here in the press box, all quiet right now, but by Sunday afternoon, the media from across Canada will focus in on the 1987 Grey Cup. Coming up in a moment, we'll take a look at the team, set the matchups for you, and check in with Leif Pedersen to see if he has figured out who's going to win the big one Sunday afternoon.
Boy, Dunnigan, Renfro, Jones, Finnerty, I don't know. Hold on, listen, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
You know, I've got to make a pick for Sunday's Grey Cup game, and the teams are so close. I don't know who's going to win. Who do you think's going to win the game?
Geez, that's close. For a pick like that, you're going to have to talk to Vancouver Vinny.
Well, where do I find this guy?
I have no idea, pal.
Well, thanks a lot. Vancouver Vinny, boy. I got to find him.
Harborside near the Weston Bayshore in Vancouver as we continue this quick mini tour of Vancouver and continue the search for the elusive Leif Pettersson, who is in search of the answer to the big question this week in Vancouver. Who is going to win the Grey Cup on Sunday afternoon, the Argonauts or the Eskimos? We're going to find Leif. But before we do, let's talk about the party of Grey Cup 1987 and the official kickoff Wednesday at the Commodore in downtown Vancouver. The festive atmosphere of Grey Cup week was more than obvious at the CFL's annual kickoff party. Walk in and you're greeted by members of the BC Lions cheerleaders. Once inside the ballroom, you might want to take a look at some Grey Cup souvenirs. There were lots to choose from. Or you might want to have your picture taken with the big prize, the Grey Cup trophy. Former BC Lions center Al Wilson preferred to be photographed with some of his old friends. As usual, lots of big names in attendance. Eskimo head coach Joe Farragelli and all-star wide receiver Brian Kelly, along with other members of the Eskimos. And then there were these guys. They must have listened to Leif Pettersson and figured it would be Winnipeg and BC battling it out for the Grey Cup. Of course, what would a Grey Cup be without lovely contestants? And the evening's entertainment included some music courtesy of the Klondike Follies, who made the trip from Edmonton and weren't afraid to show where their affections lie.
How many here are for the Toronto Argos? 6 of you. Okay, how many for the Edmonton Eskimos? All right.
Former Eskimo great Jackie Parker made his way on stage and was treated to a close-up look at the Follies. And when Parker wasn't the center of attention, you can bet the Klondike dancers were. Needless to say, everyone at the sold-out affair had a great time, including CFL Commissioner Doug Mitchell.
Yeah, it's terrific. Great place to be. Vancouver is my old alma mater, so anytime I can get here, I love it.
Grey Cup kickoff 87 in Vancouver. All in all, a fun time for a worthy cause. Proceeds this year go toward Alzheimer's research. Through all the turmoil that has been the 1987 CFL season, a glimmer of hope this week, perhaps, at the Grey Cup, as the league addresses some of its problems and tries to put together a strong business plan for 1988. Hopefully, the memories of this year will go along with some of the other great traditions we have come to love about Canadian football.
It's the soul that struggles in search for more.
The singer is Canadian composer Stan Foster. His song is called Heroes. The video brings back many great memories of Grey Cup's past, but the inspiration for the song comes from a moment in history based on tragedy.
These are the heroes when glorious hand is raised. The common man who goes without sole praise can fall on one whose shoulders will carry fame. These are the heroes of the game.
Football was not the thing that inspired the song. It was the space shuttle disaster, which happened quite some time ago, actually, and the thought's been in my mind ever since that happening. And it was catered or changed to suit the CFL or football heroes of today, but the initial right for the song was inspired by that disaster. Today's life is the heroes are so far and few between, and we need them, whether it be in football or astronauts or politicians or whatever. So the song is really a general inspirational piece, is what I intended it for.
These are the heroes of the game.
Another inspired work is this beautiful painting by artist Ken Danby. The helmets are emblematic of great players past and present, and the Grey Cup is what it's all about. Another tribute honoring the 75th Grey Cup comes from a team of a different sort. And for more on that story, here's Diana McDonald.
Meet the Ashton Potter team on home field. No AstroTurf for these guys. They play their game on polished cement. Their mission: to try to fit crowds, a football in flight, a football field, and the Grey Cup trophy all all into the crowded confines of a postage stamp. A hard job to tackle, but somebody had to do it. Working with the designs of Les Holloway and the approval of Canada Post, Tom Sheenan called the plays.
We can print any given 6 colours, be they specials or be they processed colours or whatever.
The game plan for the CFL commemorative stamp, 5 colors.
5 colours, correct.
How do you like the production?
It's pretty difficult getting it started, but once you get it rolling, first class.
Spoken like a true quarterback. Football's a dirty game, and the special teams know all about getting tough. When the going gets rough, that's when the C3 unit is called into action.
Well, it's a densitometer that scans the sheet and gives you an ink density on the sheet. And if there's any problems, then we make corrections.
So what would you have to do?
Well, I can either use the machine itself to control the press, or I can operate it manually off the other console.
So if corrections are needed, they're made. If not, the linemen take over. Ian Ashton. Ian, hold that line. Explain to me exactly why we're not allowed to cross it.
Well, in here, it's all our security arrangements for accountability and keeping track of everything. We have to count all the sheets as they come off the press. Then they're perforated, cut, and they're examined by our teams of girls down there for any defect.
Teams of girls?
Yes. From there, they're shrink wrapped into bundles and packed in cartons and shipped out.
And what was shipped out was a compilation of all these ideas. The mechanics of showing the motion of a football in flight was tough, but mission accomplished. You could say the team licked that problem. The stamp of approval has been given to the squad for a job very well done.
And this is the one-on version of the proof, which is approved to proceed to the multiple version.
Okay, well, the playbook was designed, the stamp was, in fact, carried out. As a coach, I'm standing back and taking a look at the finished product. Are you happy?
Very happy with it.
It's hard to believe from these humble beginnings that this is the end result. Now, this is what's called a pain of stamps. For the team that tackled the job, a pain in the neck at times, but nonetheless, one of the many sheets of the 15 million stamps that were issued to commemorate the Grey Cup's 75th anniversary. And John, what is a stamp used for but to mail a letter? You could say, I have one of the many stamps hot off the presses, and I in fact have a letter for you. So, from the team here that put this all together, to the teams that are taking part in the 75th Grey Cup, good luck and touchdown.
Here we are in the lobby of the Weston Bay Shore. Still no sign of Lee Pedersen. Excuse me, any messages for John Wells back there?
Yes, there is, Mr. Wells.
Oh, thank you very much. Well, it's not from Leaf, but at least Diana's letter with the Grey Cup stamp got through this time. We'll be back to take a look at the matchups, and I guarantee you we're going to find Leaf Pedersen when we return.
Well, you mix up your pocket, and you mix up your cadence, you try to keep them guessing. And that's basically what an offense would like to do anywhere. And that's what the Edmonton Eskimos offense is all about. We've been trying to do that for the past 22 weeks, and certainly that's what we do best. And we're going to go into the ball game trying to do things we do best and make them work against Toronto.
Like a silent sentinel, it stands, proudly acknowledging achievements witnessed. Its 75-year legacy etched in silver, its tradition woven into the fabric of Canadian history. It is fitting that internationally acclaimed Canadian artist Ken Danby focus on the Grey Cup in his majestic painting, commissioned to celebrate the 75th anniversary. Expertly reproduced by lithography under the direct supervision of the artist, this limited edition tribute to the 75th Grey Cup is available on a subscription basis only. The price, only $399 plus shipping and handling. To order your subscriber edition Ken Danby print, dial 1-800-387-0620. Major credit cards accepted. Ontario residents include 7% provincial sales tax. Operators are standing by, and if busy, please try again.
Hi, Leaf. Nice to see you. When did you get in town?
Yeah, I got in Tuesday, Ron. How you doing?
Not bad, not bad.
That's good.
What are you going to have, usual?
Yeah, it'd be great.
Okay.
Listen, Ron, I got to make a pick in Sunday's Grey Cup game, and as I look at it, the teams are so close. I'm having a heck of a time coming up with who's going to win the game. But everybody in Vancouver tells me if I need some help, I've got to find this guy called Vancouver Vinny. Now, have you heard of this guy?
Sure, everybody's heard of Vancouver Vinny.
Oh, man, where do I find this guy?
Don't know. Can't help you there.
Oh, boy, I got to get a hold of him. You better give me a double.
Okay.
Jeez.
Welcome back to the CFL Report on TSN. I'm John Wells, and Leif Pedersen is still somewhere in Vancouver searching out the answers to this Grey Cup puzzle. Who's going to win on Sunday afternoon? The Argonauts or the Eskimos? Well, let's deal with that Argonaut story first. They were underdogs going into Winnipeg Stadium last week, but there is no denying their right to be here challenging for the Grey Cup by the way they demolished the Blue Bombers last Sunday in Winnipeg. Much of the credit for Toronto's two impressive playoff victories has to go to the defense. The Argos were especially tough last weekend in Winnipeg, holding the explosive Blue Bomber offense to a mere 3 points. Now the Argos will need a similar effort from Doug Landry and company to bottle up the potent Eskimo attack Sunday.
They got good running backs, and the quarterback, Matt Dunnigan, he's mobile. You know, we have to play our game plan, you know, and that is get to the ball.
Well, we know for a fact that Matt and also Allen are very good quarterbacks, and we know that they're not afraid to take off with the ball, and they're not afraid to take a hit. And I think we got to close down all the lanes and make sure we contain them and make some things happen for our defense.
And no matter whether it's Matthew Dunnigan or Damon Allen throwing to wideout Stephen Jones and Brian Kelly, Argo cornerbacks Reggie Pleasant and Darnell Clash will have their hands full, just keeping these two in check.
Well, I think basically we have to contain them. We can't stop them from completing passes because they are professional ball players like we are, and they can make the big plays too. So I think that personal, as corners, me and Reggie Pleasant have to have a great game against the outside receivers. I think we can contain them and make them go to another game plan. We'll be better off there.
Another strong suit for the Double Blue has been the play of the offensive line. The key, giving Gil Renfro time to throw, and Gil Fenerty some big holes to run through.
Yeah, ever since I've been in Toronto, I think this is the best offensive line we've had in the 9 years I've been there. So they're playing real well, so hopefully they'll give the quarterback some time and they can get the ball to us downfield.
I think that their overall size and aggressiveness and the fact that they're playing so well has enabled us to run the ball a lot better than we ever have at any other time since I've been with the Argos.
Football can be a game of inches, and with two teams so evenly matched, it's a guarantee it will be a game of feet. The feet of Lance Chomick and Hank Olisic. Now with the Eskimo story, here's David Pratt.
When it comes to the success of the Edmonton Eskimos this Sunday, the names you need to know are Brian Kelly and quarterback Matt Dunnigan. All season long, these two have been magic, and there's no question they have planned a very special performance for Grey Cup.
Well, Brian's, he has been and he will continue to be one of the premier receivers in the league. And I think when you've got somebody like that on your right or on your left, you're going to try to work the football to him because obviously he makes things happen.
Football's a simple game. It's just we don't run that many plays, and we just need to execute the ones we choose to run.
Not only does Dunnigan have a great ability to throw the football, but when his receivers are covered, he finds another way to hurt you. It's not something recommended for quarterbacks, but Dunnigan shows again and again he has a real toughness and a great feeling for the team aspect of the game.
I think it's very important for each football player to go out there and play his position the best he can and not worry about what the guy next to you is doing. I think there's enough to worry about with what you have to do, and if we can go out there and execute our own positions, you know, the best we can for 60 minutes, we should be in pretty good shape, and you know, and just let the cards fall as they may.
Which brings us back to Brian Kelly. Of all of the teammates, Kelly is the one who takes care of the excitement and the pressure.
I feel it a lot less with this team than I have in previous teams. This team, we run a balanced offense, and we have other players that can do all sorts of things. Stephen Jones and Rick House and Marco Sincar and the running backs. So, you know, there's really no pressure. And everyone knows they're going to get some passes during the game and contribute, and that's the way that we work most effectively.
If Dunnigan and the Eskimos are to walk off the field on Sunday as Grey Cup champions, they will have to do it by themselves. Despite the fact the Eskimos are the Western representatives, they won't get much help from the Vancouver fans.
Thanks, Dave. We hope that clears up Grey Cup Sunday for you a little bit. Will it be the Argonauts or will it be the Eskimos? Any way you look at it, the matchup looks pretty even, and hopefully it'll come down to a last-minute field goal. Leif Pedersen is going to pick a winner. That is, when we find him somewhere in Vancouver.
offensively control the ball like we did last week against Winnipeg, and hopefully our defense can come up big for us. They've kind of been saving us all year, but offensively we've got to at least control the ball and hopefully put it in the end zone a couple times.
Welcome to the Western Bayshore League.
Oh, thanks very much.
Who's going to win the game?
You know, I don't know who's going to win the game. I can't come up with a pick, but, you know, people around town have told me if I want to find out, I got to find a guy named Vancouver Vinny. I don't know where he is.
I hear you'll find him sitting on a bench in Stanley Park every morning.
Hey, great. I'll try that. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome. Bye-bye now.
Welcome back to the CFL Report on TSN. Sunday afternoon, 2 days from now, thousands will be at BC Place Stadium with Dave Pratt and I watching the action. Millions more will be propped up in living room chairs from coast to coast in Canada, sitting back, having a tall, cool one, and enjoying the game. That is one way to enjoy the Grey Cup if you can't be here.
Well, it's a comfortable way to enjoy the Grey Cup, but it's not the only way, as I found out this week. Perhaps the most important decision that you make all day will be who you spend Grey Cup with. A game is only as good as the company that you keep. And for goodness sakes, be casual. Nothing is worse than being overdressed for the wrong occasion. Now comes the tough part, getting a ticket to the game. Hey, when you're dealing with scalpers, you got to be tough. This ticket here, 55-yard line, 15 rows up. Sure, it took a half an hour of haggling with the guy, but hey, by the time it was over, he was practically giving it away. Hey, where'd everybody go? For those of you lucky enough to get tickets to see the game live, there's a language problem that you're just going to have to deal with. No matter what the score is or how much time is left on the clock, you're going to be hearing the phrase, Argos. Now, it's not clear what the R means. It only matters to people here in Vancouver that it goes all the way back to Toronto.
First time.
Hey, partner, how about a tall, cool one?
You betcha, right away.
So you didn't get tickets to the Grey Cup. Hell, there's nothing like coming down to the local bar just to see the Grey Cup. So what do you say we throw the game up on the TV?
No chance, buddy. We're watching Gilligan's Island.
Must be the wrong bar. So here's where it ends, at home watching the Grey Cup on TV. But you can still get the flavor of actually being in the stadium. Here's what you do. Get your hot dog, get it in the fridge so it's nice and cold, just like it is at the park. And the beer, that goes in the oven so it's nice and warm. This one seems to be a little well done, but you get the idea. Watching the Grey Cup on TV, another great Canadian tradition.
All week long, people in Vancouver have told me, if you want to find out who's going to win the game on Sunday, you have to talk to Vancouver Vinny. Now, they tell me he comes every morning to read the paper on a park bench in Stanley Park. And this game, I mean, it's so close. How do I pick it? The rushing, Milson, Jones, Gil Fennerty, boy, that's even. The offensive line of the Argonauts, the offensive line of Edmonton, everything's so close. Who am I going to pick? Excuse me, are you Vancouver Vinny?
Who wants to know?
Hey, I don't want to bother you. I'm Leif Pedersen from TSN, and all week around town, I've been talking to people trying to get a feel of the game, and they said the only guy in town that can really let you know what's happening is a guy named Vancouver Vinny. So I appreciate you coming, and can I talk to you for a few minutes?
Sure, go ahead.
Well, listen, you know, I do picks on TSN every week. You probably watch the show, but this week, Edmonton, Toronto...
You haven't been very good this year, have you?
Not bad, not bad, but this
what, about
week...
65%?
About 65. But this week, I mean, I can't figure it out. Edmonton, Toronto, man, they are so close. You carry all the heavy action in Vancouver. What's the line?
Edmonton 2.5.
Oh, no, it can't be Edmonton 2.5. How come?
Because they have the best football team.
Now, wait a sec. Now, I haven't made my choice yet, but, you know, I'm kind of leaning towards Toronto. Look what they did to the best offense in the country last week in Winnipeg. Clements, I mean, they just shut him right down.
Clements is over the hill. I know he's going to win all the awards as an all-star quarterback, but the best quarterback in football is Matt Dunnigan. He plays for the Eskimos.
Okay, you know, I gotta look at it rushing and all this stuff. I got Milson Jones, I got Gil Fennerty. Boy, I don't know. How do you
Gil the
pick
Thrill,
that?
he's not bad. In fact, you know, I put a lot of weight in my selection because they have this young running back. But Edmonton has more balance and they have more speed.
No.
Stephen Jones.
Well, maybe Jones, but, you know, Kelly...
The moxie of Brian Kelly gets open, scores touchdowns. That's all he ever does.
Well, I mean,
who's going to stop him?
I have trouble. I can't argue with you. I mean, all around town this week, they said you were the guy that could help me out with this, and my record the last couple of weeks really stinks because I've been going with the bookies.
Listen, I make the line 2.5. I give the Argos a big edge in the kicking game. Alisic has been at BC Place. He beat the BC Lions in '83 with his kicking. He'll have a strong game. So will Chomick. but Edmonton has all the rest, so I got to make them 2.5.
Now, what do you think? 2.5, you're trying to saw off on the money. You got heavy money coming in from Edmonton.
You bet. I'm in the business. You know, I'm not a football man. My business is betting. We win on the juice. I'd like to have all kinds of money on the Argos, all kinds of money on the Eskimos. That's how we like to see it.
Can you handle $5 for me? Is that enough to bet, or?
I'll take 5.
So you think Edmonton?
You got it.
Well, you know, I was 0 for 2 last week going with the books in Toronto. Now, that's Toronto. I know I'm getting a better line out here in the West, but I got to go with the Argonauts.
And just remember one thing. When the Eskimos win, say, I should have listened to Vancouver Vinny.
Well, Vinny, thanks for your time. Well, it's nice meeting you.
Well, partner, it's been a tough weekend. You've been all over town to find the winner. Have you found the answer?
John, you know what? I think I have. I talked to Vancouver Vinny, and he really gave me some good advice, but there's 2 things I look at in a Grey Cup game. You look at defense and special teams, and I think Toronto is the better of the 2 teams in that area, so it's the Argonauts on Sunday afternoon.
Leaf likes the Argonauts. Vinny likes the Eskimos. I kind of like the Eskimos.
No kidding. I mean, you've been at Edmonton all year long. It's your favorite team. I knew you'd pick it. There's no drama there, but Toronto, it's going to be a great game, though. Tight, close. Hank Olisic's punting, I think, might win it in the end.
Well, we'll see who's right on Sunday afternoon. That's the CFL Report from Vancouver, our Grey Cup preview edition.
TSN CFL Report. It's our game around here, brought to you by Carling O'Keefe Brewery.